Hi everyone. Just Zafer mentioned about our project. Today I am presenting my project titled Playing with Earth. This study explores how Adobe can be reinterpreted as a contemporary urban playground material. The project begins with a simple question. Can playgrounds become part of the landscape itself rather than collections of industrial objects? Today's playgrounds are largely standardized across the world. Most are made of plastic, metal systems, and prescribe how children should move and interact. This creates three major issues. First one, material disconnection. Children lose contact with natural materials and tactile diversity. Second, prescriptive play. The equipment defines specific actions instead of encouraging imagination. And third, spatial uniformity. The same environments are repeated regardless of local culture, climate, or ecology. Here a comparison is made in between an industrial model and Adobe material base. I can skip this one. This project also questions the dominance of vision in architecture. Natural materials such as Adobe engage multiple senses simultaneously: touch, temperature, texture, smell, and acoustic. Materiality is not simply technical, it shapes bodily experience. Adobe creates a direct and intimate relationship between the body and space. For children, especially tactile interaction becomes an important way of understanding the environment. Open-ended play in this project is based on three principles. The first is flexibility. The space do not have rigid definition, allowing children to reinterpret them freely. The second is ambiguity. Instead of single-purpose equipment, the space encourages imagination and self-directed narratives. The third is spatial richness. Slopes, tiles, niches, and varied geometries create multiple forms of physical interaction. Adobe is often seen as primitive or outdated, but it actually contains significant environmental intelligence. It has low embodied energy, local production potential, acoustic softness, and full biodegradability. Unlike industrial materials, Adobe is gathered rather than manufactured. This makes it not only sustainable but also deeply connected to place. One of Adobe's most important characteristics is its thermal mass. During the day, the material absorbs solar heat and keeps the surface temperature relatively cool. At night, the stored heat is gradually released back into the environment. This creates a passive microclimate without relying on mechanical systems. This proposal is called the Earth Mount. Rather than placing objects onto the ground, the playground emerges from the ground itself. The project combines climbable surface, internal tunnels, shaded niches, and continuous terrain. So the playground is no longer perceived as equipment, but as a playable landscape. The dimensions were designed specifically according to the children's bodily scale. The maximum height remains low enough for safety while still allowing spatial diversity. The tiny dimensions create intimate spaces for exploration and retreat. The intention is to balance safety with curiosity and discovery. This diagram explains the main spatial components of the mount. The slope surface support climbing and movement. The tunnels create ambiguity and exploration, and the shaded niches provide moments of the rest and retreat. This layered experience allows different forms of play to coexist simultaneously. The project is not limited to single form. The same principles can generate multiple typologies, such as amphitheaters, fortresses, or labyrinths. Each creates different social and spatial experience. Adobe is commonly criticized for being fragile and vulnerable to water. However, this perception of often ignores traditional construction knowledge. With proper detailing such as limes, tables, coatings, protective overhangs, and stone plinths, Adobe can perform effectively in outdoor conditions. So the issue is not the weakness of the material itself, but the architectural detail. This section explains the moisture protection strategy. The upper layer used the breathable lime coating to repel rainwater. The raised stone base prevents capillary moisture absorption from the ground, and the drainage layer below allows rapid water evacuation. Together, these systems protect the Adobe mess while maintaining breathability. The central argument of this project is that playgrounds should not be isolated objects. Instead, they should function as continuous landscapes integrating material performance, spatial diversity, and sensory engagement. This creates more ecological, human-centered, and experientially rich public space. To conclude, the Earth Month is more than a playground proposal. It's an attempt to reconnect urban life with Earth-based material cultures. By rethinking traditional materials through contemporary spatial practice, the project proposed a more tactile, sustainable, and imaginative urban future. And we create an animation about our project. I'll show you. Thank you for listening.